Okay, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, rolling home on my way home from work. I listened to, I think, 3 different wrestling podcasts today, just trying to, catch a feel about what's going on in the world of wrestling, coming off of the big weekend that we had last weekend with Evolution, with Saturday night's main event, and main evented by AEW's big show, All In. And it seems like things are starting to form for SummerSlam. Like, it's going to be a really big show. It's going to be good for WWE to have lots of matches. It's the first time that they're going on a 2-night extravaganza. And I don't know. I mean, in every single podcast, they had to ask the story out loud. Is Seth Rollins really injured? Or was Saturday night's main event like a big story set up for Seth to disappear? And then I want to use this word, but if it offends somebody, I apologize. If he's going to resurrect himself on SummerSlam to screw over CM Punk yet one more time. I don't think Punk has defeated Seth Rollins in WWE since returning from AEW. I think that is one of the big storylines that keep happening. If it's just Punk beats him or Roman Reigns screws him out of winning the cage match. Just one thing after another, he just can't get his hand raised. Kevin Nash, the biggest hole that he talked about on his podcast is, why would he job himself out to lose the match to LA Knight? A superstar like Seth Rollins, wouldn't he make sure that he won the match? It's not like they really have, in AEW, a lot of matches, they always have this kind of cash prize, or in the old days, that's what kind of made wrestling real, was you believe these guys were really fighting, because there would be there's winner's purse like there is with boxing, back in the day, and that kind of makes you understand why these guys are really fighting. They're fighting for more than who stole their leather jacket, or I always think of that one with the Bret the Hitman Hart on Monday Night Raw with the pirate John Pierre, where he stole Bret's jacket, and Bret had to win it back on Monday Night Raw back in the day. But I don't know. I mean, I think that honestly, it is a really good story. It is a really good storyline, especially with Monday Night Raw last week. We got the gauntlet match that was won by CM Punk, where he becomes the #1 contender in order to fight Gunther at SummerSlam for the World Heavyweight Championship. Although it came out of CM Punk's mouth himself in the lead up to the match at Night of Champions with John Cena that he doesn't want to be champion. WWE honestly wants you to believe that it is Punk's last dying wish that he wants to be champion in WWE to complete the story of him walking out after the Royal Rumble before WrestleMania 30 and coming back 10, 11 years later, and now he completes the circle being the main guy in WWE. At WrestleMania 41, he got to wrestle in the main event of night 1, and he really felt like he had made it. He didn't win the match, he didn't win the night, but he wrestled in the main event, and he just wanted that kind of pat on the back from WWE in the office that he matters. I guess honestly, in the long run, I think that Punk is going to be an awesome champion. Although when you look at his run in WWE, it is a lot different than what it was in AEW. But it was kind of like when he was the AEW champion. Anytime he got close to that belt, he just got injured, and I know he got that injury at the Royal Rumble. that kept him out of action for, how long did they keep him out of action? It felt like forever, honestly, his first time. But it really kind of like humbled them, and he's kind of like become one with everybody, where it looks like, he has like a lifelong job in WWE where he's going to be helping out with the future, and as long as he can like keep competing in the ring without hurting himself, he's going to keep giving back to all the fans he has around the country. But Rollins looks like he's going to be just the devil and steal that moment from him, where we've seen it so many times with Money in the Bank cash-ins, where like Daniel Bryan got that moment at SummerSlam, only to have the door slammed on him with Triple H hitting the pedigree on him, and then Randy Orton slithering out there like a viper, cashing in the Money in the Bank. 1, 2, 3. The year before that was Punk beating Cena in the main event of SummerSlam, which would have been his first WWE pay-per-view as champion. And then Kevin Nash comes out, gives him the big boot, gives him the jackknife power bomb, and then Del Rio came running down there, and he ran away with the championship. Just what we needed. We get a CM Punk versus John Cena main event for the WWF Championship, and it's followed up by Del Rio walking out with the gold. I think that's why 2011 felt like it was going up, and then all of a sudden just ran out of gas, and it just fell again before Punk won the title at Survivor Series. And I think then we started like building it up yet once again. But in the last couple of days, we've seen Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and just various other random sources putting out videos of Rollins walking around with knee braces, leg braces, walking down the street with their child, and in like family-like moments. And it's like, well, why would Seth, be playing hurt just for these pictures, just trying to get this over? I know that Becky and Seth, they don't live a very public lifestyle, I guess you can say. They put Twitter's and they put Twitter pictures and Instagram stuff like that, but I can't really remember them ever putting up videos of them just like walking down the street living their life. So I'm still just calling bullcrap on all of this. I wear a tinfoil hat a lot of times in professional wrestling. I've taken L's. I made a video the night that it was announced Brock Lesnar was going back to UFC to fight at UFC 200, saying there was no way in the world he was leaving WWE to fight in UFC. Why would they let him do this if he loses? And then like 20 minutes later, he's announced fighting Mike Hunt in the UFC 200 pay-per-view's main event. I've had other ones where I made videos kind of like thinking it's kind of weird that Roman came back this long after coming out and saying that he had cancer. I honestly think about that one a lot. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think Seth is hurt. I first got this whole scoop. It's not my scoop. I mean, I first got the storyline scoop from listening to Post Wrestling with John Pollock, and he was doing the Saturday night's main event / Evolution review. I think it came out on Monday morning after Evolution, and he was just calmly saying that he knew the finish of the LA Knight versus Seth Rollins match 2 days before it happened, and just why would they have an injury storyline and it just happens that Seth really gets hurt? What was the point of the injury storyline in the whole time? John Pollock to me. I know that he has a news show that comes out, I think, on Thursday. It's him and somebody else kind of like breaking down all the news in professional wrestling. It's not with Wei Ting. But he doesn't really seem like somebody that breaks news, or he's not like Dave Meltzer or the Sean Scott guy, or Brian Alvarez. He kind of just, they do a podcast talking about what they see when they watch professional wrestling, whether it's pay-per-views or the old shows, or whatever the flavor of the week is that they're watching for their podcast. So I honestly really thought it was really weird that he was even saying something like that. So I don't know. I mean, this one I could end up with egg all over my face, but I really expect that the CM Punk versus Gunther match is going to be the main event of night 1 of SummerSlam, and we're going to see CM Punk win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then we're just going to have Halloween night as basically Seth Rollins comes back and just steals everything that CM Punk has been working for. And then the storyline's going to have to be, how is Punk finally going to get one over on Seth Rollins and claim that World Heavyweight Championship. I know that if he does beat Gunther, that's going to go down in the record book that he did win the World Heavyweight Championship. But I think the man really wants to have a reign with the belt, holding it in there. So I think that they're doing everything they can to hold on to this storyline and run it through. And, when it happens, maybe 50% of the people don't know about this story that is out there on the internet. Not everybody who watches wrestling lives their lives listening to wrestling podcasts and this, that, and the other. So I think it will come off as a surprise to a lot of people, but sometimes I think it's a work people knowing and acting like they don't know. You're like me. You live your life in the sheets. You're listening to this crap just like me. You're not better than me. But that's it. I think Rollins Rollins, who wrestles pretty much full-time for WWE, you're always going to be hurt a little bit. But I don't think Rollins is hurt. That's just the God's honest truth. I think they're trying to build up to this really awesome cash-in moment that will live on forever. They've always tried to one-up themselves one way or another. We've had, baby faces call out other people for the title. We've had people, cash in on a moment. I'm still waiting for somebody to cash in and say that they're main eventing WrestleMania. Not like Rollins did, where he had a match against Orton and then came back later in the night making it a 3-way. I just want somebody to say, forget the Royal Rumble, forget the Elimination Chamber. I'm cashing in the Money in the Bank, and I want to be in the main event of WrestleMania against this guy. And then I guess it's up to WWE's officials, or Jack Tunney's rolling over in his grave. I don't know. But it's up to them if they want it to be the main event. But I think if it's a big enough match, I mean, if Punk had the Money in the Bank and said he wants to fight Seth Rollins, who's the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania, you're not going to make that the main event match? Doesn't matter what happens at the Chamber or the Rumble, just that's your main event match? Of course you are. So that's it. Thanks for riding home with me. Hope everybody out there has a good day, and we'll see you guys down the road.